Am I live? Hi. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Hungry Poet TV. I'm full. I'm glad there's a mirror
The
right
Hungry
here.
Poets TV. Have you fed your
Am I live
soul
yet?
today?
Hi. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Hungry Poets TV. I'm so glad to have you guys here with me today. Thank you for attending. Thank you for joining. And I hope that you will be happy with our wonderful talk show. I am your host, Mika J.Woods. And I want you to check out our entirely new set. This is our new set designed by Sounds Delicious Events. They will also be the chef featured in our show today for our meal of the month. So I'm so glad you guys tuned in. Please make sure everybody come in and I want to see your comments. I want to see everything you have to say. If you have any feedback, make sure you give it. And if you have any money, make sure you donate. I appreciate you already. So, guys, today I have an amazing show set up for you today. I'm so excited. We have four special segments. We have our Spotlight Artist of the Month, which is Elise Green. Yes, honey, the one and only. We have our Meal of the Month, provided by Sounds Delicious Events. We also have our Dine Out on a Dime. And I don't know about you, but I like to eat out, but I like to eat out cheaply. Okay? So, all four of these segments will be provided to you by me. No, let me stop. I didn't want to be so cocky, but it is what it is. Oh, hey guys, I see you guys chiming in. I'm so excited to see you all. I'll address your comments in just a moment. But first, I would like to kick off the show. Right? Did you guys see the intro? Did I show you the intro? Did you see it? If you ain't see it, check it out. All right. So, our first segment is me, right? I will be performing a poem to you, which is my title poem. I'm really excited about this, and this poem means a lot to me. I wrote it because a lot of people misspell or missay my name, so I wrote this piece, and it is called My Name Is. Okay? I was the girl with the super black name. My mama had no care of what other people would say. Each day, my name was called for attendance. She had no care of the amount of misguided attention that would be paid to something that she gave me all while having such good intentions. See, my daddy, he knew it had meaning. And my mama, oh, she was beaming all about her mini me. And she was so excited that she couldn't see that the name that she had placed upon me had created its own corporate ceiling. And she didn't even understand that I would now spend my life unintentionally peeling back the layers of stereotypes that were placed on me at birth, not even giving a care of the amount of misguided racism that would unearth each time that my name was called first. Right after somebody just said Goldenblatt or McKenzie or Swarovski, they then say my name and misspell it and say it in such a way that I don't even know that it was me that they were talking to. They'd say Shamiqua or Shalamiqua or Shaquana or Shaniqua, anything that is not Shamika. So for those of you who do not know my name, let me spell it out for you so this won't happen again. My name is Shamika. S for the sands of the Saudi Arabian shore. H for the hands that poured a lot of love into my heart. M for the many slaves that carried this name before me. E for the effervescent sound I hear each time it's said perfectly. K for the Kaaba in which all prayers in Saudi Arabia are guided to, and A for the absolute shame you should feel if you ever miss say my name again. I am Shamika, Mika J.Woods. If you don't know me, but by now you should, because you're watching the Hungry Poets TV. Thank you for tuning in. I'm so grateful to have you all, and I'm so grateful for each of your comments. Let me go sit behind my little desk, y'all. You see me? You see I got a desk. Shout out to Sounds Delicious Home and Sounds Delicious Events for creating our amazing new set. I'm so grateful. Do you guys see this? You guys see this? Y'all gotta book her. Okay? I'm telling you. You won't be mad. Now, getting into this, y'all know I'm nervous, so I'm probably speaking a little fast. This is our very first episode. We are premiering. Ooh, ooh. I'm so excited and so nervous. And I thank you all for your comments. Thank you, Alasha and Jamika and everybody else who's commenting. J Rose, you're amazing. Right? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into our first segment, which is the dine out on a dime. Okay? So, let me explain to you what dine out on a dime is, which is our first segment, which I will be doing food reviews for different restaurants, preferably us, but I will also review many other restaurants in many different areas in many different states. The first restaurant we're reviewing is Cuts and Slices. The review is based off of four things: the scene, the vibe, the tribe, and the dime. All right, the scene being the atmosphere. We want to know how your restaurant looks. The vibe. We want to know how it feels. Are we able to chill? Is it a good meal? Are we hanging out? The dime, because I'm cheap. I'm cheap. So if your restaurant's too expensive, your rating goes down. Okay? So that's the scene, the vibe, the dine, and the tribe. We want to know how your wait staff is. Okay? We want to know how your staff is. We want to know that we can feel comfortable when we come into your restaurant and we're going to be accepted and loved, and our money and our time as customers will be appreciated. Okay? So remember, as I rate these restaurants, they will be rated on these four things: the scene, the vibe, the tribe, and the dime. All right? So let's get into our first review for Cuts and Slices at 93 Howard Avenue in Brooklyn. All right, check this out.
Hey guys, this is the Hungry Poets TV, and I am your host, Mika J.Woods, here to give you our restaurant of the month, Cuts and Slices. Cuts and Slices is a pizza shop at 93 Howard Avenue. They do specialty pizzas like Oxtail Pizza and or Curry Shrimp Pizza. These guys are amazing. They are located on the corner of Howard and Halsey, right by this cool little park. You'll know that you're near Cuts and Slices when you see the Krusty the Clown mural. So check these guys out. I happened to get really lucky the day that I went because it was 420 and they were giving out free ice cream. You know your girl and take anything free, right? So I had to get this free ice cream. Look how hype I am. Real quick. Just don't judge me. I was excited. And you know, because I'm a real auntie, I had to get that butter pecan. All right? Now, as we walk in the Cuts and Slices, you'll realize the vibe is so super dope. You can tell the owners are kind of young and they like the same things we like. You'll see nostalgic things from our childhood like Chucky and Wheaties. But let's get into this pizza. OMG, they had everything. I saw the Oxtail Pizza, Jerk Shrimp Pizza. I saw Buffalo Chicken Pizza, Turkey Bacon Ranch. They had it all, and everything looked absolutely delectable. I couldn't wait to try everything. I had to show you guys 2 times just in case I missed a different brand. Make sure to check out the specialty sodas too. So on the second look, you'll see you have the Jerk Shrimp Pizza right there in the corner. Then you have this one with the peppers that just looks amazing. And at the bottom, you'll see what I tried, which was the Oxtail Pizza. All right. They had fresh baked cookies, garlic knots, and so many other things. Right. So here it is, the Oxtail Pizza and the Crab Pizza. OMG. I had to show you guys a few times the opening of the box because it was magical and it smelled even better. Right. So here's a picture of the actual pizza that I ate before I devoured it. Cause baby, I decided to eat right here at this local park. The vibe was kind of interesting. I suggest you eat there. Now you know before I eat, I gotta start with a little hand sanitization because Corona is real and I do not want COVID. So stay protected and sanitize your hands. All right. Now, I said I'm eating in a park because some restaurants don't even need a venue. But, look at the pizza. I couldn't wait to eat it. I couldn't wait to go home to eat it. So I ate it right there in the park. And this crab pizza, honey, at this point, I knew Cuts and Slices was the real deal. If you notice how I closed my eyes in a moment of bliss as I bit down into that flavorful crab. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that first bite was like heaven. I kind of forgot y'all were here for just like 2 seconds. My bad. But it was good. Okay? Had to go in for a second bite because it was that good. Now, let me let you know. I kept having to pause. Before I cut this video, I'm gonna review the oxtail because, honey, that crab pizza. Now this oxtail pizza, it was about right here that I started thinking about who is the owner and creator and chef of this. Cause all I'm thinking is they had to be a direct descendant of Jesus and they had to get this recipe from heaven. They up there serving the angels oxtail pizza. That's how good this was. Do you see that I closed the box and had to revel in that moment? Forgot y'all were here, looked at the camera and said, oh, yeah. Because it was that good, baby. I didn't know that Italy and Jamaica could make such an amazing combo with oxtail pizza. Delicious. I had to lick my fingers. It was so good. I'm in a public park licking my fingers. That's how good the pizza was. All right? Oxtail pizza. Here to stay. Now, as I thought about the owners, I wondered if they're black owned. This is the current owner. His name is Kurt Saunders. He is a black owner. And I rated Cuts and Slices 4.5 only because they did not have a place for me to dine in, which is the same review they got on Google. You should check them out with their address, and it gives you the popular times and reviews from other customers, as well as a copy of the menu. You'll see they have regular, chopped cheese, and everything. These 3 people I met on the way there. They were just some dope black people who wanted to try Cuts and Slices. Make sure you follow them as they follow the Hungry Poets. This has been another episode of the Hungry Poets TV. Love you. Make sure you feed your soul today. Peace, blessings, and love. Stay hungry.
Have you fed your soul today?
Really enjoyed that review. I'm not gonna lie, Cuts and Slices was delicious. And if you know anything about me, let me let you know. I went and visited Cuts and Slices on 420. Okay? So that free ice cream, I was in there like every auntie-ism in my body, okay, for that butter pecan. Ate it off the cone too. She had cups. I didn't care. I wanted it off the cone. It was everything. The little lady, I think her name was Maria, whatever her name was. I don't want to be racist, but it was delicious. I was so excited, and I'm here for anything free. So, as I said in the video, y'all know me. I'm cheap. I'm on a discount. My life is on a discount. Okay. Um, but Cuts and Slices 4.5 star, 4.5 whisk, okay? Whisk and pen because we're the hungry poets. So our ratings will be whisk and pens in the ink jar. Now, there is also a bad rating. If you get a charcuterie board, bruh, close your restaurant. Close the restaurant if you get a charcuterie board because that means you're cutting up. All right? You get it? So, but our rating system will be the whisk and pen in the ink jar. All right? Now, Cuts and Slices, I'm here for it. If you're here, try it. All right, it's delicious. They have many different kinds of pizza. They even have a vegan crust. Just saying. But let's move on into our next segment. All right. Next up, I'm going to bring in a poet that means the world to me. Well, first things first, every poet means the world to me. Okay. Because poetry is a form of art that expresses your emotions in the most rawest form. Okay, if any of you guys have ever heard my poems, you know I write a, excuse me, mommy, I know you watching, but you know I write a lot of niggas ain't shit poetry because that's where my heart is. I write about God too. I write about Black Lives Matter. I will forever write about Black Lives Matter, okay? But I'm a heartbroken child and niggas ain't shit. So I write a lot about that. So this poet in particular means a lot to me because she brings the emotion. She brings the pain. She brings the drama. She just brings it, baby. Okay? She will tell you like it is, but make you cry at the same time. And you know what? Let me not even continue to talk about her. Let me just bring her on out here. Elise Green, please come to the Hungry Poets table.
Hi.
This, look at her. Look at her. Look at my high yellow gorgeous. Look at her with the yellow looking like a daughter of Oshun. I am just
Okay.
so grateful for her.
Oh man.
So, this is our poet, Elise Green, our poet and spotlight artist of the month. Okay? Can you introduce yourself? Let me slide over so you can tell them.
So my name is Elise. I'm a spoken word poet. I'm from Jamaica, Queens, and pretty much that's it. I'm passionate. I'm a mom, and I listen. I don't read the room. I am the room. Whatever I'm feeling, you gonna feel it too. So
Did you hear that? She said, I don't read the room, I am the room. Excuse me. I don't know. But Elise, I'm so grateful to have you here. Thank you for coming on the Hungry Poets TV.
absolutely, you know I love you, Mika, man, and plus it's bird. So listen, if you
Yeah,
ever around Mika, just know you gonna eat good, eat great. So I love me some
y'all know
Mika.
me. I'm always hungry. Always
In
hungry.
multiple ways.
Let's talk about it.
Okay?
I'm gonna read y'all a little sexy poem later about how look, not only am I always hungry, but she is too.
Insatiable.
But Elise, I'm so grateful to have you today, and I would like my audience to get to know a little bit more about you.
Sure, sure.
First things first, you're a single mom, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Yes. How old is your daughter?
She's 8 years old, going on 28, like me.
Oh yes, yes, a little grown adult. I love it. I love it. Y'all know I love Mika love the kids. Don't have any though.
No.
Maybe in the future I'll adopt a Chinese kid when I'm 60. But in the meantime, tell us more about Alina. You have so many
Oh
wonderful
man.
stories that you share about her.
I'm always talking about my child, whether it be just because she's being silly or I realize how much more she is like me. It's crazy. Like, man, I love having a kid. I listen, I would never tell nobody not to have a kid. Like, it has its traumas, its problems, and things you realize about yourself. But man, I love having a kid. I swear I love having my daughter. My daughter keeps me on the straight and narrow. Like, when I fall off, when I forget certain things, like, she's my number one supporter, reminder, like, affirmation. She's my daily affirmation. She literally, if you ever see my Twitter, you see how much I talk about how much my daughter loves me. She sends me it all the time. Mommy, I love you. Hey, but get married. Like she's so serious. Like, and it's amazing to me because it's like, kids are so innocent. They see things so pure and so like just as it should be. So I
Mm.
know she sees me as like just this amazing angel person, like, so she sees every good part of me and I love it that she reminds me on a daily basis because that's something that we as adults, as humans, we get all in the world, we forget about ourselves. So I'm thankful that I get that constant reminder almost every day, like literally, if not 3 4 times a day. So
And
yeah.
that is wonderful. I wish that everybody can get that constant reminder from somebody in their life about how good they are and how loved they are.
Right.
Because that's what we all need. And when I ask certain questions like, have you fed your soul today? Sometimes it's not you feeding your soul. Sometimes it's a counterpart or maybe even a derivative of you,
Right.
meaning your child who fed your soul by giving you something that you couldn't give yourself.
And it's so effortlessly, like, because she doesn't think twice about it. She just does. She just, hey, mommy, I love you. And, she'll ask for whatever she want to ask for. But, most times it's just genuine love. It's for no reason at all. Like, we have conversations about that. I remember once I told her, I was like, she's like, why do you always tell me you love me so much? You're always smothering me so much. I was like, cause I want to give you the love that I never got. Like, I remember telling her, like, when I was younger, there was a night I remember so vividly. I waited for my mom to always, like, come and kiss me goodnight. Cause that one time she did it, I was up and I was, like, pretending to be asleep. So I was like, okay, she gave me a kiss. I was like, oh my God, this feels great. So I waited every night and I never remembered, I was probably asleep already, but I waited every night until, you get to a teenage age and you're like, okay, that's whack. But, every night waiting for that kiss. Like, so I give her those kisses day in, day out, and she gives them back to me. So,
That's
yeah.
beautiful.
Mhm.
Shout out to single moms. I have a few single moms watching. I just want to shout them out. Shout out to Jamaica. Shout out to Sade Caress. Love you, boo. And then shout out to my mom, who is currently watching, who I waited up for with kisses and hugs. My mom, she's a character. And shout out to my mama Tanya, because I love you too. You guys are absolutely amazing. Shout out to single moms, period, because you do a lot.
Right.
And as single moms, you're still dating. Am I correct?
Woo, child, dating. We're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna go into that.
Because I do. You know what kind of poetry I do. You can say shit. I'd say it quietly because my mama's watching. But
Yes,
as far as dating, there are always good and bad
absolutely.
things that happen with dating. Can you tell me something good that has happened with dating?
Woo. Nah, honestly, I like knowing different approaches of what a man will, be willing to do. A person that really wants you shows you. I mean, we hear it all the time, but you know how quick you see it from having like somebody that wouldn't show you, and then somebody turns around, out of nowhere, just boom, here it is with the action. Okay,
Oh,
and it's just like, ooh, all right, I see
you
you.
like, okay.
So you realize how much more there is out there, and if you're willing to give those things a try, then so be it.
But it's hard. It's hard to
Yeah,
make the
yeah,
decision
it's very hard. It's
about the
very
good
hard.
and bad guys. Sometimes you come across a guy that you initially feel is good, or maybe a friend, or maybe somebody that you can let your guard down in front of,
Hmm.
and then they turn out to be
Crazy
someone
as
that's,
hell.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Someone that is not out for your best
Right.
interest, someone that is intentionally trying to hurt
No,
you.
yeah.
I know you have a story of this, and we'll later hear a poem about it, but I definitely want to talk about this moment that you had, because there are so many women that come across situations like this that
Hmm.
are clouded or that are judged by others incorrectly,
Right.
and women's rights is something that I stand hard on. I believe that every woman has the right to protect herself, defend herself. Shout out to Micaiah, because you defended yourself. So I feel like you have the right to protect yourself, defend yourself,
Hmm.
and ward off any attacks that you feel are coming.
Absolutely.
And not always are we given the right to protect or defend ourselves, which is hard to face, because sometimes we come into situations thinking that everything is okay. Would you like to speak on this?
Sure. I feel like I know where you're going at. Not just even the poem, really more so. It's about the incident that I've been in. I have friends. I love my friends dearly. And sometimes you just trust, thinking that everybody is your friend and they'll take care of you, so on and so forth. And it ends up not being that way. I was taken advantage of by a friend of mine, which I still don't wish no harm upon. I still would love to see that person grow and be the person that he's supposed to be, because everybody has a lesson, everybody goes through things in life. And the one thing that I pride myself in is in being understanding. I feel like we all have some stuff that we're gonna go through, like, so with him, I wish him nothing but peace, light, and love always, eternally. Love him to death. It would never change. It's just there's parts of me that will never really kind of be the same anymore. It's like we're going on 2 years since it happened, and I haven't really talked about it. And it's like these 2 months, it's deep in reflection, but it's also like I'm still here. Like, like plenty of people didn't deal with it the same way that I dealt with it, which I'm pretty sure the people that was around me at the time didn't agree with the way that they didn't even probably even know what I was dealing with, how I was trying to figure things out for myself and understanding what happened. Because when it's a friend of yours, things are not as black and white, like, okay, it's just this. You don't want to just throw the word out there when it's, that's a big thing. It's not something that's small. So for me,
Sorry,
going through my
what
process,
word are you referring to?
ooh, rape, it's a heavy word. That's a life changing word for anybody in life.
Mm.
The victim, the person, that did it, it's a lot. And that's a hard word for me to kind of even now deal with and accept for what it is. It's like I get through my moments where I do accept it. And then there's like times where I'm just like, I'm right back to where I started from, where it's why? Like, why? What, and we blame ourselves. Like, I know me. I know I got a poem about it. Woman of the night. Listen, I went through my moments of feeling like I want to be okay, to feel free. Like, I don't want to deal with all the stresses of XYZ, this, that, and the third. So I get it. We go to our vices, and sometimes our vices are not the smartest choice. But in those moments, it makes us feel okay. It makes us feel like we have control over it. So yes, I've gone through my horrible times and so on and so forth. But that doesn't mean that for someone to be your friend, to just say it's okay. It doesn't make that okay. Because for me, I'm not gonna be okay from that. I have a daughter. How do I explain that to her one day when she's trying to go out to the world, and as beautiful as she is, she's going to develop. And I don't want somebody coming across that's however old you are, or pretend to be a friend, pretend to be anything nice towards her, and then take advantage of that. Whether you say you were intoxicated or not, whatever. But there's just too many things around that situation for me. And speaking on it, especially in a spotlight like this, is a lot for me. As you can see with the way I'm going back and forth
But
about
I
it. But
appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your honesty because there are many women that watch this
right,
that may not want to come out about their story, that may feel some kind of way about it, that may not be sure if they should use the word rape.
right.
That's why I asked you specifically to say that word
Mm,
because you have a story. You have what I like to say is you got a testimony, honey, because you're still here, you're still breathing, and you're
mm,
still strong.
mm,
You wrote about it and you are moving past it and you are moving along and you are getting stronger and building yourself up with every day. And I appreciate you and I appreciate your honesty and I appreciate you talking to the viewers about your story
mm,
because I know there are people out here who can relate, who
mm,
can feel what you were feeling. That's why I asked her specifically to share the poem about what was going on because she's a person who comes from the heart and her heart is so pure and I needed you guys to understand and to feel who she really is and don't just hear her pain and think oh no she's amazing, she's amazing because she's using her poetry as her form of expression. So on that note I'm going to ask you one more question. How do you feel like poetry has helped you through your process?
Man, poetry gives me a moment to be heard because
Mm,
far too often, I know many of us feel like this. We're alone. We're in our homes, or whether we're living with our parents or not, by ourselves, whatever. We are screaming. We are
mm,
screaming. We are screaming, and it's in our actions. It's in our silence, and it's like, yo, when I'm, if you know me, especially people that are around you enough, it's like you can tell when I'm screaming. It's just if you take the moment to listen, because we are screaming the loudest when we are acting the most quote unquote normal. You can just note it. Like, if I'm eating food, the shift of my fork, something so simple, the twitch in my ankle, like, just simply asking you a random question that you may think is nothing and it means everything in the world to me. Like, those, we are going through those moments. So for me, it's like having that voice and now having that responsibility towards others, like you said, with when it comes to sharing your experience. People tell me all the time when I want to quit, don't quit, keep sharing your story, because you don't know how many lives you're changing. And my little two and a half years now of doing this poetry stuff, it's like, there's so many people that have come up to me like, oh, you don't understand, in full-blown tears. Like, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like, you know what, I have a responsibility. I can't quit, because no matter what I go through, this pain makes somebody else like see things differently,
mm.
also feel like they're not alone. They feel like it's a subtle hug, but it's enough. It's, even if it's quick, it's enough for them to feel like, you know what, I matter. Because if that person came out of nothing and they matter, then they just get up there and they tell their story. Why can't I? Why can't I? And they can. They
They
can.
can.
Everybody deserves to hear your story,
They
no matter what
definitely
it
do.
is. So it's important to me.
Man, and I tell you, I tell you, Elise's story is something to be heard. I have cried. Y'all know me. I usually have a big smile on my face, and I'm as chipper comes. Throw me in a wood chipper, and I'm gonna come out just the same. Okay. But I have cried to Elise, and I talked to her because I know that she has a heart. She has the heart of a poet, which bleeds consistently. So even if she's wearing a smile on her face, I say this about myself, it's like the tears of a clown. Like, I'm gonna smile, but ignore these tears as they come out while I smile. But man, Elise, you are absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
You fed my soul today. Do you know that?
No, thank
You
you.
you fed my soul and I feel full. But not yet. I don't want to say I'm full yet. I'm gonna say I'm satisfied because we still gonna get a spotlight performance out of Miss Elise Green, right? So before we get to that in our next segment, what I want you to do is tell people how to find you.
So if you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is LYSEAAA. That's three A's. I'm not really on it as of much right now because I'm working behind the scenes to work on my poem series. It's literally called Cleaning Out My Closet, just things that I wanted to let go of, leave in the past or whatever, because I'm big on vulnerability and I'm big on sharing whatever I've been through for other people and so on and so forth. I'm also on Clubhouse. That's where the whole I don't read the room, I am the room comes from. So if you want to go on Clubhouse, it's literally just my name. It's Elise Green. You can go and follow me on Clubhouse. And, very, very soon I will be releasing my series. So I look forward to you guys.
And when I tell you I am excited about our series because she is amazing. This girl has done so much from music videos. I remember that. She was cool little music video. It was funny to being a single mom to being many other things. Last thing I want to ask you is how do you feel about food? Do you cook?
Oh, okay. See, I got a love-hate relationship with cooking.
Oh God. You
It's
hear
like when
this?
I love it, I love it. When I hate it, I hate it. Because summertime, I'm not turning on no ovens, no nothing. I can't do
Well,
it.
what's your best meal? To cook, not to eat. When I say what's your best meal, it's not to eat. What's your
Hmm.
best meal that you cook? I don't care if it's eggs. Give it to
Okay,
me.
well, we further along than eggs, but honestly, right now, my daughter loves my mac and cheese. Angie loves my mac and cheese. I haven't gotten any bad reviews on that. I'm still working on chicken. The last two times was bomb, and I know I'm heavy-handed with the seasoning, so it was definitely very good. And roast beef, I love roast beef.
Okay,
Love me some
okay,
roast beef.
all right. Well, speaking of food, what we're gonna do is get into our next segment. Next up, what we have is the meal of the month. The meal of the month. Get hype. The meal of the month. Hey, the
Hey.
meal of the month. Hey. So our meal of the month is provided to us by Sounds Delicious Events and Sounds Delicious Home. Also, the people who made our set. Hold on, real quick. Can I get into this? Set that fireplace. You see me? You see, I fancy. I get fancy. I'm so excited. I got a fireplace over here with real candles. Y'all know I'm clumsy, so I'm trying to stay away from them. That's why I'm leaning so close to Elise. But I got a fireplace. But seriously, let's get into our meal of the month provided by Sounds Delicious Events and Sounds Delicious Home. Our chef of the month is the one, the only Tiffany Hendrix. Not only does she sound delicious, she cooks delicious. And this month, she provided us with a recipe for a Thai soul roll. Get into it. Ah, I'm not the best dancer, but I could pop lock if I try, if I concentrate, if I focus. But for now, let's get into this video with the Thai soul roll provided by Sounds Delicious Chef Tiffany Hendrix.
Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Tiffany here with The Hungry Poet, and I have a delicious, quick, easy, healthy recipe for you. But before we get to that, let me briefly introduce myself. Again, my name is Tiffany. I'm the owner and operator of Sounds Delicious. We are a brand focused on glitz, glamour, gourmet, food, decor, entertaining, luxurious, beautiful, upscale, but cost effective and cost friendly. I have a quick recipe called a Thai soul roll. We're going to take our collard green, that's where the soul comes from. You know we love collard greens. And we're going to put some vegetables and some chicken thighs in there, season it up real good. And we're going to make a Thai peanut sauce to go right along with it to dip that in there. So let's hop on over and show you what you got to do. So here are your ingredients for your filling. We have some finely sliced shallots, sweet potato, red cabbage, carrots, collard greens, chicken thighs, some pink Himalayan sea salt, cracked black pepper, ground ginger, Italian seasoning, vegetable seasoning, salt-free, chopped garlic, and oil. So you want to get a skillet, put it on medium-high heat, and add some oil. Now, you can put olive oil if you'd like. You could use peanut oil, rapeseed oil, coconut oil, vegetable oil, canola oil, whatever oil suits your fancy. Wait until you start to see some ripples and that the oil is thinning out and heating up, and then we're going to start to add our ingredients. Now that your pan is nice and hot, I like to start with the ingredients that are going to take a little longer to cook. So I'm going to start with the sweet potato. I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to also put the red cabbage, and then I'm going to add the carrots and the collard greens. Nice, bright, pretty color. We just want to work those, mix them together, and let them start sauteing. I know a lot of people add their onion or their shallot and their garlic first, but sometimes they tend to burn quicker. And so I like to add some of the heartier items in there first and let them kind of get started. So while we have that going, we're going to add some of our seasoning. I'm going to put our Italian seasoning. This is a teaspoon. A teaspoon of the salt-free vegetable seasoning. A quarter of a teaspoon of ground ginger. And we're going to work that in a little bit. And we don't want to cook it too long because we do want it to still have a little bit of crunch and have that beautiful color that you see right there. Remember, we're cooking healthy, so we want to keep as many of the nutrients inside of all the vegetables as possible. Next, we're going to go in with our shallots, but let's make a nice little well here in the middle. And then we'll also add our chopped garlic. And I say as much or as little as you like. I do like garlic, but I don't want to scare away my family, so I'm only using a half of a teaspoon. And we just want to keep moving that around, and it smells really, really good. And so now that that's gotten some heat on it, it's softened up just a little bit, not too much. We're going to push everything to the side. And then we're going to add just a little bit more oil to our pan, because next we're going to add some chicken. So for this recipe, I'm using chicken thighs. I prefer chicken thighs. They have a little bit of fat. They're a little juicier, a little more flavorful. But if you prefer chicken breast, you can absolutely use that. I'm going to add a little more oil. Going to add this chicken in here. So again, remember, you want everything to be cut kind of uniform. So we did strips or julienne slices of all of the vegetables. So we're going to do the same thing for our chicken. You want to turn your heat down a little bit so that it doesn't cook too fast. And then we're going to crack some of that Himalayan sea salt on top and some fresh cracked pepper. And on top of the vegetables as well. And some pepper. Pepper up here. Pepper everywhere. And then a little bit more of that ground ginger. I reserved a little bit. I'll put some here on this chicken. Gotta let that chicken cook nicely. One pan. Don't have to make a whole bunch of mess. One and done. So now that our chicken is cooked, got a little color on there, got some nice drippings at the bottom of the pan, we're just gonna mix it all together now. Really quickly, just to reconstitute everything. Still got nice bright colors in there, nice and flavorful. We're gonna turn our fire off. We're just gonna let that sit. And next we're gonna get working on the sauce for our wrap. So now we're gonna move on to our Thai peanut sauce. So we're going to start with some creamy peanut butter. We're going to use 2 tablespoons. Put that in a bowl. Get it all. Then we're going to use 1.5 tablespoons of low sodium soy sauce. 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, but only if you like a little spice and a little kick. I'm not even going to use all of them. We're going to use 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger, and then a tablespoon of honey. Get all of that in there. And then I like to use a tablespoon of warm water because the peanut butter, you know, it's a little thick and it needs, you know, something to kind of soften it up just a little bit. And we're gonna get a whisk in our bowl and slowly, nice and easy, not too hard, not too fast. Don't want to make a mess. You can even press it down just a little bit. And we're just gonna kind of work it slowly. You gotta take your time and just whisk. I know it looks a little gloopy right now. It's not fun looking or delicious looking, but it will be once we work it all together. If you want to make more than this and you want to multiply the recipe, you can always use like a magic bullet or a NutriBullet. Pour everything in there, and that especially will need some warm water so that that peanut butter doesn't stick to the sides. And just work it and get it going. So I did go back and add another tablespoon of soy sauce, another teaspoon of honey, and another teaspoon of ginger, just to get the desired flavor that I wanted. And now that it's nice and worked in, it takes a little time. You gotta work it and get it all together. It has a beautiful luster, a nice color, a nice texture, not too thick, not too runny, but a nice dipping sauce for our Thai soul roll. Let's get rolling. Going to get our nice collard green leaf, face down. I'm gonna take a knife and just get some of this rib off just a little bit. Be careful doing this because it can be a little thick and hard to chew because the collard green wasn't cooked all the way through and through. You know, when you're cooking regular collard greens, we cook those things all day long. Get some more of that filling. Line it up nicely. Like this. Okay. There we go. Put some more filling. Now, if you want a big burrito size one and you're feeling brave, I say go ahead for it. Fill her up and let it go. And we're gonna do again. Bring it to the edge as much as possible. Don't drop it on the floor. And we're gonna roll it, wrap it, and roll some more. Then I'm just going to cut that off right there. And there you have it. And now it's time to serve it up. So we're gonna get our knife. We're gonna cut it on a bias just so you can see everything inside of it. We'll cut that open. Let's look inside. You see that? Beautiful, nice and colorful. See that chicken, the carrot, the cabbage, the sweet potato, and then we have this beautiful Thai dipping sauce, and we're just gonna sit that right there. Sit that one right there. And there you have it. A Thai soul roll. Collard greens, chicken thighs, sweet potato, carrot, shallots, some ginger, peanuts. I mean, it really is a party in your mouth. High protein, low carb, great for those who are trying to trim down for 2021. Something quick and healthy and delicious. So there you have it, our Thai soul roll. Fresh, delicious, flavorful, quick and easy, not many dishes, and something you can impress your friends and family with. Thank you for watching, and I hope to join you again.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Hungry Poets TV. Thank you so much. That was our segment, the meal of the month. I don't know about you, but I am so excited to get home and make me a Thai soul roll. I gotta say it like that, like soul train. Y'all know I'm corny. I don't care. But that looks delicious. Really quick, I just want to shout out the chef of the month, which is Tiffany Hendrix. Check her out on her page, which is Sounds Delicious Home and Sounds Delicious Events. That's her Instagram. And on YouTube, you can catch her at Sounds Delicious. Each Wednesday, she gives you a different meal. She gives you not one, not two, but three different meals made with three ingredients, with three common ingredients. That is called the Remix Wednesdays. And then each Saturday, she drops you the Supper Club. I got to say it sexy because I don't know if y'all ever been to a supper club, but look, the Supper Club, right? She drops the Supper Club, which I was featured as one of her artists at the Supper Club. I was the entertainment. Mika J. Woods, the entertainer. I was the entertainer. But make sure you check her out on the Supper Club, on her page, on YouTube. Sounds delicious. She will teach you many, many more meals, especially the one that I recently just tried, which is the potato leek. Delicious. So excited. But let's keep it going. Next is our next segment, which I'm the most excited about, featuring our Spotlight Artist of the Month. I would like to have her to the stage to give you a few of her pieces that you can enjoy. All right? So please welcome Elise Green. right there.
Hi, so my name is Elise Green, and I'm going to share a few pieces. My first piece is called Woman of the Night. I, I, I am a woman of the night. I drown in drink so that I can silence the thoughts in my mind, one drink at a time, knowing I'm not being kind to my body, but it just feels so damn good. Not to overthink, not to rehearse scenes that may never be played out for a moment. I'm me. Maybe a bit too carefree, but at least I'm living. When I wake up tomorrow, I can be forgiving, but right now, I'm living my glorious sin. Right now, this is how my life begins. Weekends are all I need. And of course, my liver soaks so that the me inside my mind is no longer choked and hiding behind the thoughts that constantly leave me lost or questioning more of how I should be. In the night, I am free. There are no voices in my head yelling to let me be. There is no other version of me, see. She'll never fight, just dance and climax to new heights. She inhales life with a thirst that quenches better than Sprite. No spite in her heart. For once, she's not falling apart. Everything is as it should be. See, she knows that if she was home, she'd be curled up in fatal fetal defeat, gripping her knees, shaking and praying for her sanity because this life ain't never been easy. She gives life all she can, and every time she gets enough air to breathe, it's like life crushes her windpipe just enough to self-repair, never fully leaving her in despair. It's like her self-care is amusing. So she figures, I figure, why try? When the reasons to abide are the same reasons that you cry, are the same reasons that you die. Why? And they say tomorrow isn't promised, so why can't I be the woman of the night every night? Why can't I fight my demons with a little bit of help? Do we always have to be brave? Why can't sometimes we be saved? Do we always have to know what to say? I know I'm comfortable in my shades of gray because not everything is black and white. Sometimes it's purple, sometimes it's green, sometimes it's red, and sometimes it's just all a dream. Thank you. So that was my first piece. I'm gonna just go right into my second piece. It's called Board Games. It's kind of like a double entendre, and it's in reference to one of the topics we talked about earlier. Someone thought it was a good idea to use my situation, something I've been through, as an excuse to why he was a shitty person. So here goes. It takes a broken type of man to use a bitter piece of history just to tell his story. I wonder what that kind of misery tastes like. I knew you wasn't shit, but I wanted to believe that there could be better, so I handed benefit to doubt, hoping my fears wouldn't be what was carried out because I was just so honest about my heart. I gave you a chance. Something I don't give out often, but a demon like you could never know love, and that's why your ego craves clout. You banter about your resume of women because they validate the one good thing about you, your mouth. You can make a junkyard look like a vacation in Dubai. Paint images of love with a facade of subtlety, respect, and passion. You have the ability to subside the roaring of intuition with elaborate lies. God blessed you with a gift, but instead you chose to do harm with it. Using words to steal the hearts and minds of beautiful women just to heal the wounds inside your ugly soul. I wondered if you smiled today. Just so I could slap the sunshine and bring the clouds of gray. You don't deserve for today to be a good day. You don't know peace and love been astray, so it's no wonder you treat the woman who decided to create more life with this way. And oh, how I pray. Karma greets you with a clean drop kick, and you can't find the strength to stand again. Attempt to lie, but get stuck still like a mannequin. Learn to be a man again. I hope it makes you understand. Makes you wish every single day that you had been a better man. When you find someone you love, I hope she feeds you every lie like it's a delicacy. Introduces you to manipulation with a twist, and you mastered an art of being slick. I hope your lowest days are my holidays. My smile etches a sketch in your brain, and you can't shake that shit away. I hope karma comes to make amends, and I promise you, it's personal. Because what kind of a man would use the fact that I've been raped as justification in some sick way to say I break up the so-called happy home that he destroys every single day? Truth is, he's a coward who can't handle that blame, so diversion is the game that he plays when he's bored. But oh, how I love board games. I'm sorry. Because you thought that we could share the same space, then bump me back to start when things seem to go your way. Well, guess who decided to bring some trouble and pop your bubble right in the center of life? Ain't that the sweetest taboo? Speaking words unmentionable, watching families feud. I set the timer and watched your gestures act out that of a fool. And since you played your cards against humanity, well, I guess it's my turn to pick the block and watch the towers fall. Life's feeling like Jenga the way that I'm ready to risk it all. I wrote you 3 poems, and damn, here goes another one. So I guess I'll call it Connect 4. Now, I know it took me a little while to speak out because I had peace in my mouth, but I hope you understanding me. I heard privilege is a motherfucker, and you ain't even know it. Thought you was the greatest, and now I'm about to upshow it. If one man could change the world, it took a woman to bestow it. Can't communicate effectively because your trauma's got you choking, claim you so BX, only to be addressed under respect. Been a queen all my life, so I had that shit on preset. Never regret. A nigga, I chose to play with that recess. Better believe that next to nothing, you are one of a kind. A black dog ran over in his prime for not speaking his mind. All I ever asked you for was a little piece of your time. Now it's fuck your smiles. I hope you sit back and watch mine since I can't skip past the games you played with my mind. I'll reverse it back to me until you pick up 2 for your mistakes since you can't stack a draw card after a draw card's been played. Uno. Uno out, bitch. So that was that piece. I'm just gonna go right into my last piece. It's called "To Know Me Is to Love Me." I went through a moment where someone made me feel bad for just basically being who I am. And honestly, if you know me, then you love me no matter the circumstance because you understand the way that I am and why I am the way that I am. So, yeah. I'm convinced to have more than one heart. It's the only logical explanation for why I'm still here when I know I felt my heartbeat snatched right out my chest. More than just once. And I'm sure after all the many arrhythmias that it sped up too fast and just stopped. I remember once that it felt so hollow because it sank too deep and I couldn't breathe. I'm positive I felt my heart explode. At least twice. My heart's literally been broken more times than you can count, and I'm sure you'd say it's because I am strong that I'm still here, or I'm immortal, but I am nothing of the sort. I am just kind, and that doesn't take much strength. I'm not a perfect person, mother, daughter, sibling, or friend, but to know me is to love me. I like Mickey Mouse. A lot. I often imitate British accents because I am good at it and it makes me feel happy. I find joy in singing around the house even though I can make ears bleed, but I'm content with knowing that I can hit a note or two. I have at least 8 different laughs, each varying in pitch, but everyone's favorite seems to be my giggle, so I pray it remains infectious. I believe that I am the definition of passion, and there's nobody that can tell me otherwise. I love the sight of the moon at night and sitting beside water as it ripples, waves, or crashes. I often sit and pretend that I am one with the earth, still and free. I sometimes picture me being Rose from the Titanic when the wind blows a nice breeze on me, like most people, I think. My favorite date was going to Chuck E. Cheese. It felt good to know that I can make my ex's childhood feel complete, even though he was 19 and had never been. Seeing the smile spread across his cheeks as we played and stole some kids' tickets was priceless. I give and make amazing gifts. I am in love with love, to the point that it can be considered an unhealthy obsession. I love the movies, The Notebook, and Set It Off. I think that they speak volumes about me. I am a hopeless romantic, and even though life gives me hell, I'd be nothing without my friends. I often give too much of me. I believe in being understanding to a point that is so undeserving, but you can't tell me not to listen. I can be irrational. I cry for everything. I fight hard for what I believe in. I try my hardest to believe in me. I sometimes find it hard to breathe when somebody leaves me. I pick myself apart like a scab because I can't deal with seeing an imperfection on me. And I genuinely love so hard that my emotions get the best of me. And I body slam every fear I have just so my daughter can manifest her destiny confidently. I struggle with depression 40% of the time. 30 goes to anxiety, 20 doubts, 10 fears, but who I am will not reflect all of what you never get to hear. I am thoughtful. I write notes or affirmations to myself because I often feel unworthy of anything. I sat and wrote this poem to remind me that even when somebody makes you feel bad, to know me is to love me. 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 Thank you guys. That's all of my pieces for now.
Y'all, did you hear her? Didn't I say that she was coming and bringing you truth, bringing you pain, bringing you her heart. Thank you
Thank you.
so much for being our Spotlight Artist of the Month, Elise.
Thank you.
I thank you. I
Oh my gosh,
appreciate
thank
you. Guys, oh my gosh. This has been the premiere episode of The Hungry Poets TV. Now, just a few announcements before I get off. Thank you to everybody who watched. I see your comments. I see you, Alasha. I see you, Claudette, Yolanda Segura, Keisha, Ja Logic, and friends. Please, I appreciate you all. Nicole Swaring, Atia M. I appreciate you all. Please make sure to support everybody who participated in making this show amazing. Please donate to our chef who is amazing at Sounds Delicious. That's her Cash App, $ Sounds Delicious. Make sure you donate to our amazing poet, our Spotlight Artist of the Month, Elise Green. Her Cash App is $Alyse13. That's ALYSE 13. All right. And then make sure you donate to me because your girl, Mika J.Woods, is paying for all of this. Okay. I'm going broke, but I'm always hungry and I got to feed myself. So help me feed me. But honestly, donate to me also at Mika J. Woods so you can help support this show. We are trying. I am an independent show, and I would love to bring this to you every third Thursday of every month. All right? I am so, so, so grateful to have had each and every one of you on, tuned in, and watching the Hungry Poets TV. I am your host, Mika J. Woods. This is our new set provided by Sounds Delicious. I'm so excited because it looks so great. I feel fancy. I feel bougie. Look, she even gave us glasses. Ay, que lindo. But honestly, I'm grateful for each and every one of you. I am grateful to the chef who provided the meal of the month. Make sure you guys check out where we dine out on a dime, and that's at Cuts and Slices, 93 Howard Avenue. But more importantly, what I want you to do is every morning when you wake up, I want you to look yourself in the mirror and make sure you feed your soul. And at the end of the evening, I want you to ask yourself, have you fed your soul today? This has been the Hungry Poets TV. Check us out next month, May 20th, with our Spotlight Artist of the Month, J. Rose, and our Meal of the Month, provided by a new chef, Dine Out on a Dime, will be somewhere different. You got to check us out each month to see. See you next month. I love you. I appreciate you. And make sure to feed your soul. This is the Hungry Poets. Mwah!